So, Rufus, one of the things you hear is that this is not the first time an American president has talked about some sort of alliance or acquisition of Greenland. And obviously, I think Harry Truman did this or explored this, years ago. What do you say to people who say, like, "Hey, Donald Trump's not proposing anything new, right? He's just picking up what others have talked about."
And so this is, I think, one of the biggest misconceptions or the biggest sort of oversimplifications of this entire thing. So, yes, Harry Truman wanted to buy Greenland. Guess what the difference between now and when Harry Truman wanted to buy Greenland? NATO. So Denmark is a founding member of NATO. So Donald Trump uses these arguments involving national security as to why the United States needs to purchase Greenland. Greenland is a NATO ally. Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Thus, if there was any military invasion or incursion of any sort in Greenland, it would invoke Article 5, and the alliance would be compelled to respond. So it doesn't, to me, from a national security argument, it doesn't make sense, because whether or not Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, whether or not it's American, or whether it's not, or whether it's like Iceland, kind of an independent nation that is a NATO member, even though they don't have a functioning military, they're supported by the alliance. It actually makes no fundamental difference, especially considering we do have a military presence there. So the national security argument, that in essence, what Harry Truman was trying to guard against, which was the Soviet threat, potential Soviet threat that's that close, NATO was the solution to that. And that one of the reasons why NATO has been such a successful alliance is because we don't have to do this anymore. We don't have to control these countries anymore. The whole alliance, it's sort of an all for one and one for all. And so the thing that scares me the most, Dan, about the entire argument on national security is that in my mind, it could be showing Donald Trump's cards as it relates to his feelings about NATO. Because the truth is, the only reason why I think a national security argument holds any water is if he wants to withdraw from NATO, if he wants to pull the United States out of NATO. And I think that should scare all of us fundamentally.